This bout is scheduled for one 5-minute round. First, fighting out of the orange corner, Robert Bennett. And his opponent across the cage to my right out of the blue corner, Andrew Earles. Your referee when the action begins is John House.
John House, our referee in this grappling bout, presented by Main Event Apparel. It's heavyweights, one 5-minute round. Grappling, Robert Bennett is in the Superman shirt, and Andrew Earles is in the black shirt. Two Kentucky fighters will shake hands, and we'll get going. One 5-minute round.
Very excited for this. Like I mentioned, Andrew Earles has been around since day one. I remember the multitude of matches that he had with B.J. Hickson and with Jerry Burns. You know, way back in the heyday, I considered it the old west of mixed martial arts. It was really cool to be a part of that, and so much going on back in the day. And now Andrew Earles is here at Border Wars, possibly the biggest event in the city's history for mixed martial arts. And Robert Bennett, tough individual, a never say die kind of fighter, doing it in a grappling situation, man, to show his expertise on the ground.
And you mentioned Robert Bennett as a takedown attempt.
Oh, look at that.
Had him in the air momentarily.
He did. He went for the guillotine. He lost it. Now Andrew Earles on top here.
Robert Bennett mentioned he fought Doug Williams a couple of times. Doug Williams on the card tonight here at Border Wars in Corbin, Kentucky. You'll see him a little bit later on tonight. Casey will be in his corner. Of course, Doug Williams from Team Oxendine.
So cool to see these guys here. You know, originally back in the day, these two were considered to be, you know, like brawlers, you know, from the hills of Kentucky. Now look at him doing a technical grappling match. Look at Andrew passing the guard here. Looking really good. Robert Bennett recovering the guard. No points. That's what's so cool about this. If you go to a grappling tournament, a standard grappling tournament, you're going to see all sorts of points and that sort of thing. Here, submission only. You know, first man to submission, he wins it. And you see Robert Bennett keeping that post here. You know, both men doing what they need to do here, looking for that submission.
John Earles, Andrew Earles, part of that original Warrior FC group, as Casey mentioned earlier, and he's in the black shirt, and Robert Bennett in the Superman shirt.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Warrior FC back in 2004. That was a time when there was no sanctioning. When it all started in a ring, it started in a wrestling ring where it was a little bouncy. You know what I mean? So you know, some craziness. And before regulation, there were a couple of times, and I have to be real with it, a couple of times where I saw a corner man take a cheap shot at a fighter. It was crazy. Like, it truly was the Wild West. Of course, Jimbo saw that, and there was, you know, he put a stop to it, and he got the thing into a cage, and then started the legacy of Warrior FC, and really a lot of money made back in the day, and you know, really a development of what I again consider the Wild West of mixed martial arts. Now look at Andrew Earles looking to set up a leg lock here. All leg locks legal in Kentucky, even for amateurs. That includes heel hooks and toe holds. So it could get nasty right here real quick. You see the heel hook, and you see Robert Bennett rolling out. Very technical exchange here.
Very nicely done by Robert Bennett. They're going to shake hands again.
So Robert Bennett posting his hands on his knees. That's typically a sign of fatigue. You know, he's back in action again. Andrew Earles putting the pressure on, though. It seems he's got a little bit of a weight advantage going on here.
Jockeying for position.
Again, hands on the knees. I always look for the little, as a coach, you know, I look for the little details. You know, you watch the mannerisms. You know, a fighter can speak to you without even opening his mouth, just in his behavior and his body language. And, you know, it's really important to watch that, and you can kind of tell what's going on. It's a language of its own, if you will.
And there you see Earles saw the opening and got the takedown, and he's on top again. And it looked like Bennett was signaling over to his corner, perhaps.
We may be getting close to the end of this round. We don't have the timer on the screen here, but you know, it's been probably about 3.5 minutes into this match. So
And you see the pass there by Earles.
And I will say this, big guys. When you've got big guys doing this, the man that's on top has a significant advantage because you have to carry the weight of your opponent as well as your own weight. When you're on your back and you're 250 pounds, you know, you've got to pick that 250 pounds up to get off of your back. Whereas you see the smaller guys at 230, they don't have that, you see a lot more exchanges. They don't have that weight to contend with. Now you see Robert Bennett on top now for the first time in this matchup, using that forearm choke, utilizing it. You see the grimace on the face of Andrew Earles.
Yeah, really leaning on him, and that forearm was significant. You can tell that Earles didn't like it.
Vince, this may be the first grappling match we've called together, the first series of grappling matches. They're occasionally there in Tennessee when we do Valor fights, but this is a different scene.
I think we may have had one. Not many of them, but maybe one. We've certainly had our fair share of kickboxing, Muay Thai, and they get reset here.
Oh, here we go.
It's John House, our referee. Oh, actually, well, they will restart. Now talk about this initial position.
Okay, so we're going to overtime. First takedown wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So a little bit of overtime.
Uh-huh.
Sudden death, if you will.
Yeah.
Without the death.
I get to have my golf voice when we do grappling. You know what I mean? It's exciting, but it's exciting on a different level. It's a technical exciting.
Right.
And, it's fun to call these grappling matches and see, really the bones of mixed martial arts here. And you see the takedown here by Andrew Earles. He completes it, and he wins this bout.
How about that? Very well done. And Andrew Earles is going to pick up the victory, as the two were very close throughout the entire 5 minutes.
And again, great to see the technical expertise of two guys, again, that were considered brawlers, but doing it on a real technical basis.
Yeah, heavyweights, and showing their technique, and both of them accounting well for themselves and getting a good workout here as well. So an extra time. Is there a technical term for the extra time?
Just overtime.
Overtime. Okay.
Overtime.
All right. that carries over.
You know about some basketball, Vince.
I do.
You're the man about that. You know more than I.
All right, back to Jennifer.
Your referee stops this bout in overtime for your winner by first takedown out of the blue corner, Andrew Earles.